Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander viewers should use caution when viewing this film, as it may contain images and voices of deceased persons.
I've been in the Ranger program for a long time now. I think it's well and truly 10 years. There's 820 kilometres of coastline that we need to look after. It's the second biggest island after Tasmania, so the more hands on deck we have, the better.
Yep, our office. We do our paperwork here, also even planning. If we go out and about, we do patrol on land, we do everything here.
Are you happy?
Yep.
Yeah, but we'll support you if you need to go and look after
The businesses that want to come and deal with the Tiwi people, and more importantly about the areas they speak to about Yimpanari. Cecil's all a part of this area here, which is from here that way. So it'd be good for him to get an insight of how the executive deal with his issues affecting his group. Yep.
To the Marine Rangers, important to have ranger programs on the both Bathurst and Melville Island. If I go out, because I do before I should go out a lot of turtle hunting, dugong fishing, but now if something goes out wrong out in the sea, I think it's important that someone needs to report it to the sea rangers so they can go out and fix it and look after what's wrong with that area, what's happening with that country and also with the waters. So it is really important. The sea rangers also work closely with the TOs in the land council of who we are as Tiwi people.
I think Marine Rangers are, the best for our island here, because they do some of the things that we want to make sure the land's okay, and the animals, and the people. If they want to spend a weekend or a trip to their homeland, the rangers make sure that they're safe. We could tell our young children here that they role model our rangers, and later in life we want them to to take their place, to become rangers, because whenever it's camping, big camping like children's camping, the rangers should go and have a look at the environment, make sure they are safe, because we've got a lot of crocs here on the island, big and small crocs.
The people around this community knows about crocodile, and they'll come see us, and we'll go and approach the cops to come and get rid of them. The crocodile will come along, Sometimes they'll attack your boat, and you've got to be careful and just take off from them, because they are dangerous and they will eat you. No two ways about it. Everybody knows about crocodile. Even the kids, when they see him, they just take off now. Careful, everybody, when you go out on a boat and things, I'm not trying to frighten you, because they all know how to drive a boat, and if you see a croc or something, veer away from him.
Just a quick run through your safety breaches. This vessel here should not sink. If we do take in water, we'll be sitting in the water will be around our ankles. And we got life jackets up the front, your first aid kits up the front, all your flares are up the front. Usually the gunnels are flotated in these vessels, so there's no chance of these sinking. And that's about it. There's a big gill net in there, a legal net. Yeah, why I took this position is to look after the coastal area of the Tiwi Islands, our people and that, the future of our people. So there's plenty of fish and, hunting and that for the people, and a lot of debris all moved so you don't injure the animals, the birds, the turtles. And yeah, that's... And being a saltwater person that I am, I just love this position to do what I'm, go out and look after the land. And there is a lot of illegal fishing that goes on around here, and it slows it down for like tourist industry and also for the locals fishing. Yeah, so the more you're out in the water, there's more chances of getting people illegal, and and you see more for your land what you can do, walk along the beaches and pick up rubbish and whatever.
They all say, I'm going to be a ranger when I grow up, which is great. We try and encourage them that if they perform at school and they be good, we can assist with getting them a ride on the Ranger vessel or with the helicopter. We use that as a sort of a tool, and we say, look, first of all, have you been to school? You're going to school every day, you're being well-mannered at school, so if that's the case, when they come in, we'll let them know to take you up for a trip. So it's working. There's been some kids that are not doing the right thing, but now we've heard that because of what we're telling them, it's turned right around. We tried last week, Sis? We had the boat in full tilt and it was just dragging us around in circles. So as you can see, the size of that net, it's massive. But I have spoken to the barge crew, and what they're waiting on now is to get approval from their bosses in the office. Most of the ghost nets we see fall off prawn trawlers as they're working in the area out wide, but you see some of the floats as well on ghost nets. There might be some different types where they've got Chinese or Indonesian writing, so that tells you that we have unwanted visitors here, and we surely don't want them on the Tiwi Islands. So yeah, it's up to the Ranger Program to make sure we're out there and just keep an eye on things, and yeah, just working closely with Customs and AQUIS and more importantly the NT Police, just to make sure that we're looking after the coastline. The ghost nets come in and they get trapped around the reefs, the shallow reefs, and where there's shallow reefs there's a lot of turtles and dugongs and breeding stock of fish. They tend to get caught up, and sadly, you know, we haven't got the capacity to try and pull them off, so we got to work with whoever we can in the area to get some ropes around it and just get them pulled off the reef so that we can burn it.
I was the first Marine Ranger based on Tiwi Islands here. I like to be on the water. You know, as you know, I was born on the island and I'm a saltwater person. I'm not a mainland person. We still get a lot of people coming there from down area to illegal fishing, you know. And my job was to get number of the boats and check if they weren't putting nets across creeks, which is illegal, and you know, that was my job. There used to be ghost nets stuck on the reef. We should pull it out, yeah, because sometimes turtle or dugong get stuck in that net. Maybe 4 or 5 turtle a week from them nets.
We used to come up by canoe from mainland to here, go across from here, stay here, get turtles, then sometimes the people used to go out to in mainland to get big mob. People used to live there, Tiwi people lived over there. Very patchy. Very patchy, this area here, this other side over there, another island over there, they call them Pulungana. And another island over there, Mumma. All Tiwi name. We prove it, owned by the Tiwi people.
This is 15th January 2008, and we're just here looking for water now. You see all that tree? That's bloodwood tree, woollybutt tree on the other side of the Padana.
There are people who still live there. Yeah. I don't know about water. This one here, that's where the water is. You can see it, that hemisphere, all along here. Water, trees, there's many boats from Bathurst and Melville came across, not Darwin, because, you know, Tiwi people know this place better than Darwin people, you know, so we know this area.
It's the Tiwis that use it as a stepping stone and their hunting ground. They come all the way around at the island for protection, and that's where they get their food from, in the Vernon.
Marine Ranger Program is good in the community because remember when the boat people came, we need to look after our coastal area, plus people come in by fishing boat, they come and put a net up the creeks, and then they hunt at night, and then in the morning they go. So we need a ranger program here because people be coming in and out, do a lot of damage up in the reef, up in the creeks. That's why it's very important we got it, because to look after our country and the coastal area. In Arnhem Land, they do the same thing. Ranger program up at Yirkala, up at Malangrida. They do the ranger program, and then we need more funding for this program. It's very important because we're the eyes and ears for Australia.
Tiwi Rangers, like other, like the ones on Groot and in Pally and at Yirkala, they're multi-skilled. They speak another language. We're lucky we're only one. We speak one language, while the other, tribes, other nations are actually speaking about 23 different dialects, and yet they're not. The government does not recognise, their skill as being up the same level as what you'd pay in a qualified environmentalist. And this is no disrespect to those who've gone onto tertiary education. I think sometimes the lessons learned in terms of what the Rangers do, that their learning area is of more value than what you would find in a classroom. And not only that, it's that the Rangers actually are locals. They're born and raised. That's in their blood, in their salt. There's the sweat, and also is that they will protect the land most vigorously as anyone else would.
If we had no Marine Rangers, our Land Council would find it hard to police island. Very, very difficult. I mean, these some of the things the government should be, listening and supporting the community, We are in frontier, and then we're very close to Indonesia.
If the Ranger program didn't assist here, I think it'd be devastating to the Tiwi Islands in general, and more an environment issue, being that there'll be no one here to report it or report to. The community would have a bit of a sense of loss that they can't approach anyone. If they come across cane toads, What do they do about it? If we had an outburst of cane toads in our floodlands here, we have a lot of swamp areas here as well. As you can see in the mainland, they've become a pest, then you're never ever gonna get rid of them. The way it looks, without the program, you're just opening the door for a lot of things to go wrong. You know, whether there's a foreign fishing vessel around here and they come in with mosquito larvae, they get into our swamplands, into our mangroves. Once we get an outbreak here, where is it going to end up? On mainland.
Well, if no marine rangers, there'd be a lot of problems there, like people maybe doing a lot of overfishing and fishing in creeks and all that, not, you know, not looking after the environment, and their job is to make sure that sometimes we get some people coming in, because we got some camps along this side of Melbourne for the day trippers. You know, they might go there for day or maybe weekend. When there's a long weekend, they go camping there. They might take in some exotic animals or plants, you know. Look after that coastline, yeah. They get help from the land rangers too.
Yeah, it's an ideal spot. A lot of people have been using it, and we've established this facility here now that just makes it an even better spot, because now you've got a bit of shelter and you've got a bit of shade, you've got a bit of breeze, you've got a nice barbecue plate here that you can cook a snag on, and there's some nice fresh water over there. You can have a wash after fishing. It's about looking after the place, respecting the land and the water, that save the catch. Don't take more than you need, because someone else is wanting to come over here on the next weekend. They're going to want to do exactly what you're doing, so don't take it all. Leave it for some others.
Marine rangers are role models, so the kids can see what they're doing, and by the time they're old enough, they might join the Marine Rangers. I think that's a good idea, but we need more funding from the federal and territory government, you know. We need their help to support it. We're not going to do it by ourselves. We need even the environmentalists and the federal government to help put more money in the Marine Ranger Program.
Hello, my name is Willie Rioli. I'm supervisor of the Tiwi Land Rangers, and definitely having the Marine Rangers is definitely beneficial to my program, my fire program, and obviously we work together, you know, in terms of burning. They help us, take us to areas obviously they play an important part, because they take us to areas that we can't access by our vehicle. So having them, calling upon them to take us by boat is very important. And they definitely help with us, and we work together in terms of burning. They do a lot of community engagement. You go out and get things for, obviously with like bush tucker stuff with while they're out in the boat, or sometimes when they're on land, and they're able to bring bush tucker back to the TOs, or to traditional owners, I should say. definitely the community can rely on them in terms of if they do see anything that's unusual out in the waters, they can always get in contact with the Marine Rangers. So they definitely play a beneficial role in the communities.
Maybe